dimensionality, through understanding they are all one, then who's to say they're not just constantly going to be doing that? And then it's just like, that just blows everything out of the water, because who's to say what's going on there? Who's to say what's going on here if I leave? Who's to say what my mother and whatever? Who's to say? Who's not to say that if someone, let's just say for example, looks like they've passed away, that this coconut, their subconscious said, done with that one now, I'm bilocating. And in this reality, everyone's been programmed to go, they died, oh, my mother died, it was just so terrible, I've had a terrible life. Instead of being like, well, they bilocated, just like you bilocated here. You've bilocated here to have the experience. And if you're attaching to what that soul wanted to do by bilocating, you've bilocated here to experience suffering because you don't believe in bilocation, although you bilocated here in the first place to have lessons of this life, of which may be perhaps the life where where individuals that are incarnated, souls incarnated in physical vessels, have bilocated here to give you the impression that there is life and death. However, from you actually relating to forgiveness and compassion and all the emotions that come with being a human when someone passes away, you actually learn all the lessons and follow the spiritual path to then reawaken to the, oh, maybe it's a spirit in form and now they're somewhere else. Maybe I'll go to a medium. Oh, if they're somewhere else, then what was all that about? Did I do that too? Am I a spirit as well, right? So I bilocated, and then I understood that it is not, she's got her perspective, he's got his perspective, like an opinion, which we know. It's an actual in-vessel perspective that you then are ignorant to and freely choose to be disregard other perspectives because you're so immersed in yours. Was this water being like, I wonder what the rock's doing, I wonder what the tree's doing? She was like, I am water in this life I am water, yeah, oh my god, I'm gonna go onto the riverbed now, I'm going into soil, I've been transported to be sucked up by a worm, I'm moving through the worm now, woohoo. To allow yourself the perspective of relating to physical life like that. Like, I look at a plant and I'm like, the perspective of that plant, I'm going to project from within because I want the experience for myself. I'm going to project because of it, I want that plant is having a great time. I project that plant is just like taking its time to grow. I want the metaphors, the characteristics and the qualities of anything that I see to be enhanced with the versions and with the characteristics that I perceive within my vessel. And that reflection is that whatever you can see on the inside is what you'd only be able to perceive on the outside. But all of nature is one. So once you take a characteristic for yourself, like, oh, I grow, I'm here to grow. You look at a plant and you're like, oh my god, that plant's here to grow as well. Oh my god, everything's here to grow. But it's not like a projection just because you said it. It genuinely is, but you've tuned into what you are from looking at your physical vessel. So if you externalize that and looked at nature, for example, first and was like, trees start off as seeds. They need a merge of nutrients to allow them to grow. They need space and they need light. If I felt like that, would that be appropriate? Would that be applicable? I started off as a seed. I needed nutrients and light to grow. I needed space to grow into. Maybe that's like my womb. And then I can grow tall if I have light. Maybe I'm like a tree. And it's the reflection and the bounce off. However, the idea now that you can move your perspective to any place in the cosmos through saying, like, I allow myself to, and then embody the awareness that you are just a perspective now. You have just had a perspective now. Really, really, really alleviated some stuff for me. So when I travelled back to come here, it was a great anchoring of codes of freedom of choice. I could always, let's say, escape my reality here if I didn't want to. If I wanted to hop out and say, nah, not for me anymore, I now have the option through my methods, right? So it wasn't to teach me to then go. It was me allowing myself to understand more of what I am, everything. Me allowing myself to bring that experience and those codes back to then pass it on to other beings here to help them access that. For they already are that. And me having that experience just confirms what I already knew and what I am, but allows me to have that experience to then keep going out into the quantum, going out, having the experiences, moving my awareness around in the cosmos, and then freely choosing to bring those codes back and pass them on to Earth to liberate humanity, to ascend, assist the ascension, if that is part of my codex, part of why I came. Okay? So although it's like super cool, we could say in the yogic path it's like a siddhi, a superpower in theory, or I could just travel around the cosmos and like go get the news over there and be a water droplet and be a fire, because I turned into fire. I was like, I want to embrace the elementals, so then I turned into fire. And now my DNA is just like proper activating, because all these codes that you actually feel as a sensation, just like if someone hit me, I'd feel the trauma of that in my cells, and it'd be like, oh yeah. When you go out and you experiment with being other beings, like I was experimenting with being 9th dimension and 12th dimension being, my DNA, which is, how can we say, DNA entanglement, whatever I experience here gets shared in the cosmos. Whatever I experience out there comes back and shared in the cosmos. Like, it's helping to go and do that work, helps all the cosmos, because these cells that are within this physical vessel that this is jumped into, instead of just feeling the density, it's actually bringing back the experience of a 12D, of a 9D, of a water and fire droplet. So that its DNA cells are actually vibrating and releasing out all the trauma. So then this vessel does become an ascended, multi-dimensional being, because it's brought back the same DNA experiences that it went out to get. It's like a high vibe shopping trip, yeah? So then I brought back these codes of fire, 12D, 9D, water into this body, which, because I'm the soul consciousness, I allowed my body to believe that it too had had that experience, because I am it. This vessel is inanimate without me, animated without me. This awareness is the me. I am this. This is me. Not necessarily this. Yeah, all that is, we're all that is. But what I'm saying is the awareness of the experience had comes from this, inserted into this, and then allowed to reverberate through the cells, which is the DNA. But really, I am that water droplet. So the DNA activation, in terms of allowing these cells to reactivate and remember their multidimensional aspect, already happened there. Because whatever happened, as above, so below, but how can I say this? I am the water. If what I am is this, jumping around into things in the cosmos, because I am it, meaning I can go wherever I want, I'm in the inside and the outside, I'm already that. And I'm just bringing that back to here to go, so the wind blew then, so it's like, I'm bringing that back here to acknowledge it, to confirm it, say, yeah, I went out there to bring this back here because this felt so sludgy, because you're always saying, I'm Emily, I'm just Emily, whatever, yeah. I chose to bring this back to help you cells. One, it gets me to have a great experience. Two, it changes reality, stops humans being a slave. But three, because these cells are me as well, and I want you to know what you are. If I'm going to have this trip, maybe I came here to go out and do that, to de-traumatize your cells, to allow your DNA strands, the cell, the tube torus. Maybe I go out, I tie over here in the cosmos, I pick up the water and fire codes, 12D, 9D, I come back in, I put it in, and I reinsert it into my DNA, which is all the DNA. So by doing this, going out into the quantum, doing your meditations, taking on the characteristics, using metaphors to personalize things in your reality, you are moving the energy around. And so let's say that I felt it there, then I go and then I put it back in, so that this is not traumatized then. You do that enough times, you have healed the cosmos, you've healed yourself, you've healed suffering. So imagine that the idea now of perspective is that your literal awareness of wherever you are putting your awareness, and I wanted to invite you, bilocate your awareness to say, I'm in Africa. Bilocate yourself to say, I'm a piece of fabric on the carpet. Bilocate to say, I am a blade of grass, like I am the wind. take on those characteristics. Like this, all these methods get channeled through to me, but I see them as like normal. I see them as like, oh, you know, everyone would know to, you know, use a metaphor to move their awareness and embody the characteristics that they so truly wish to be, but can't yet internalize it without externalizing it, but then calling it back in. I see it as normal because I've tried to make sense of the world in that way all my life. I've been like, why does a flower seem so free and why but sat on its own? Is it lonely or is it sovereign? You know, I try and look at the world in that way of saying, if it's not labeled lonely, is it labeled you know, master of that spot in the land? Like, woo, I like that more than, oh, fucking lonely old flower. So I've moved my awareness continually, and I really hope that that motivates you to do the same, even on a baseline level of thought process, to use metaphors to distinguish your characteristics that you would so wish to see in yourself. And then once you start using meditation and mixing in the awareness to go, oh, now I'm going to the moon. Now I'm bringing that energy back and I'm going to put it in there. And now this me in here resonates with being a moon being. And then I'm going to take it over here. I'm going to take it to 12th dimension. What would it be like to be 12th dimension? Oh my God, I've actually just gone there. I'm now them. Am I coming back? Yeah, I feel this strong urge within me that there's something that I've forgotten to do. And so I'm going to pull my awareness. My awareness is actually being pulled back. I didn't choose to come back as a water. My awareness was like, come on now. Come back. And then you're like, oh, and you land in your body and you're like, whoa, oh, I understand now what I'm here to channel. I'm here to meditate, move my awareness, have experiences, bring them back, want to come back, share them with others, allow others to engage in their own unique methods and practice of awareness, to then, obviously, you now believe that every single being could then open themselves up to multidimensional experiences and not attached to whoever they are, therefore changing the paradigm. Therefore, no child would ever be raised with the idea of death, of suffering, or anything, because you just go, move your awareness to be a flower. If you've tripped over, move your awareness to go into the blood. Is the blood actually hurting? Is there a reverberation of pain within that wound? If you actually went into that cell, that composition of the cell, it wouldn't actually sting. You'd see it either going like this or going like this or something. You wouldn't actually see it. So there's beautiful ways that our species, but obviously our importance within the cosmos, will then reverberate out. Because if you've got a whole bunch of people, 8 billion, 300,000, 8 billion humans, 800,000, 300,000 oversouls, all going, oh, my perspective is that life is awful and people can hurt me and I can die. That is also going out to the cosmos. We are literally sharing in the cosmos our thoughts of death. We're sharing in the cosmos thoughts of suffering. So you imagine 8 billion and 300 oversouls that go, oh, I'm just God, I can just go anywhere I like. I'm so free. I'm not in bloody quarantine anymore. I can't be locked up anymore. I'm going wherever I want. I'm free to travel. You understand that the macrocosm of what is actually going to happen. Once we embrace this, then it's like, oh my God, that, like, if don't piss me off because I can just leave. And you'd be like, yeah, but then you know that the path would be that you might bilocate, but then you will automatically just feel like you're called to come back and serve this truth. You will never ever be like, fuck you, I'm gonna go. Everyone will just be like, I'm going on this adventure for you to bring back the codes, and then everyone's just in it together, unity consciousness, loving life, plus sharing and going on trips together and all that kind of good stuff. So does that help you realize that spiritual practice, meditation practice goes further and is the ultimate journey that we're on? That if you can just visualize what society would look like when everyone can bilocate their awareness to other places in the cosmos through the desire to embody characteristics that would make their world better, therefore making their world better, you're in this blended crystalline bioluminescent world where, you know, it's a kind of quantum soup of energy. So now I do it all the time. So now I'm just going into my womb, going into my heart, going into my pineal gland and being like, I can go wherever I want. I feel so free. I can go wherever I want. And let's encourage this to also mean emotions. I can go into love. I can create that space. I can go into super consciousness, create that space. Go into whatever you want. Find it somewhere within your vessel, because your vessel is the microcosm of the macrocosm, because by bilocating, you're only going to find something that's already there. And if you can find something that's already there and bring it back, it was always there. It was always there. Yeah. So anything that you need to find it. And then this obviously comes into play with manifesting, because now, even though I was going to say it on second training, but now I'll just say it here. In terms of manifesting, let me ask you, does this change your perspective on when people say quantum leap? Does this change your perspective on jumping into a higher timeline? If it means bilocating to a different location, which we call a timeline, can you then realize that you're not here to go, oh, I'm going to become the person I want to be? You're here to move your awareness into the place where you would be that in the now. And then, how can I say this to not sound, to explain the difference of this? Instead of like fake it till you make it, instead of being like, I'm going to become the person I want to be today, it is in the now. However, merge this awareness that in theory, because you could bilocate into the body of a millionaire who is living their dream life, which I said before, as soon as you could actually jump into the perspective of that, how would that change you understanding that your perspective of you is the thing that needs to change? Is why people say fake it till you make it. Who would you be if you were earning the money you wanted to be? Because it's just a perspective that you get to give yourself. So rather than being like, oh, I don't earn enough money, you can be like, the perspective, changing your script, changing how you speak about life, changing your vibration, is that you're calling in the perspective of a millionaire for this vessel to have. Instead of bilocating, going, oh, sack this one off, she's not got the perspective that I'm after. Bilocating, be someone else. Be like, I'm bilocating back here to give this one the perspective of millionaire mindset. And therefore you're going to quantum leap, because it is just a perspective that then magnetically attracts what you are. So if you're venturing into self-love, you're going into the womb space of creation, fine, you're going to magnetically attract that. You go bilocate into the idea of a millionaire and then bring those codes back, sit in that. That is the idea of saying, who would I be if I was a millionaire? You're bilocating your awareness into that space, into that quantum field, and pulling that awareness back, meaning that you're transforming in the now, meaning you're not taking any time. You are becoming what you want to be now. Bilocating your awareness kind of out. Oh, what would it be like to be a millionaire out there? Oh, where in a month, I suppose I'd have the money. No, what if you bilocated into the body of someone that had the money now? How would they feel? Bilocate back. Come back in and be like, oh, she'd be like this. Oh, she's doing that. Instead of actually thinking you've got to leave. So you're taking the bilocation of the perspective of something that you'd wish to manifest out there, and you're putting it in now, but just by using spiritual development practices, tools, journals, like my one-page online journal. Use that. Take the perspective. I'm light. Oh, God, I'm light. I'm light right now. I'm not trying to find light out there. I'm light right now. And then instantly you've quantum leaped into that vibration. Therefore, you're going to manifest. You're going to attract everything that feels the same around you. Millionaire mindset, millionaire frequency come. So I really hope you've enjoyed that video. I haven't made a video in a while, and that was super cool to make it about that. And I really hope that that's just like ebbed a little bit more, showed you where I've progressed into. And I want to say thank you to everyone that's always followed my work. I know that I fluctuate on what I want to serve, because I just really love sharing the experiences and witnessing you experience yours. And I know that the thing that I suffer with, is wanting everyone to just be the master. So I'm like, oh, there's nothing I need to tell them. They already know. They're doing it their own way. Everyone's here to do their own thing. And really, for me, it's about stepping into the bilocation of someone that says, I value what I know. I value my work. I value what I share, because I know that it actually helps transformation of people. So rather than me be like, they don't need to know what I know. They're on their own path. Instead, I want to bilocate into the person that goes, my work is valuable. If people knew this, they'd be happier now. If they were able to go through these performances and go through these experiences, they'd be happier now. They'd be time-space traveling, bilocating and bringing back codes to Earth to help humanity and access their multidimensionality. What? Why are you saying everyone knows this? If everyone knew this, you'd already be in that reality, and you're not. Meaning that you are here to help people realise that and access that by teaching, by valuing what you know. Huh? So, Thank you so much for sitting with me. Thank you so much for valuing me passing this on. And I'd really love for you to exchange with me, donate to me. I'm going to put my PayPal link below, because obviously some of these trainings are free, and I'm yet to kind of figure out how exactly I could support you. I really want to record I'm recording the quantum multidimensional activations that I receive, and then I want to pass them on, maybe like a library. That's what I'd really love to enjoy. And then support around that, because I love answering people's questions. But for now, I'd really love it if you would donate, if this has been helpful to you. I'm going to put my PayPal link below so that you can exchange and help me out, give me a little bit of support, encouragement, that this work is valuable and that these ideas and experiences are needed, and that it helps you. Yeah, that it helps you. It's like we're all one, you know? Let me know what you think in the comments below. I cannot wait to hear what you think about this, and if this formula would work, if this perspective on moving your perspective seems exciting to you, and if you'd be able to go it alone, or if you would prefer the support from me to take you on these journeys and to help you see through a new perspective by reflecting back possible answers to your questions. Namaste, beautiful brothers and sisters. I'll see you in the astral plane. Bye.